Change an idea. This is the slogan synonymous with the now infamous Katlego Maboe. It was an outsurance slogan. But this man's life, this man was thriving. Katlego was once everyone's favorite presenter. Very eloquent, multi-talented actor, singer, presenter. He was everywhere. I don't know where the man exactly began his career, but the man was everywhere. He was on every billboard on the N1. He was on TV the entire day with outsurance. Change had idea, but his life would change when this video surfaced in August 2020.
Respect me. You understood that very clearly at some point. You've destroyed my entire life. You gave me a fucking STD that is destroying my fucking womb and my chances of having another child. So don't fucking ask me about the ultimatum that I'm giving you, because I have every fucking right to be as angry and to demand the fucking truth. So you're going to tell me, or you're going to fucking leave as I said. It's as simple as that. You know where your priorities lie. You fucking decide. Yes, I gave you an ultimatum. It's a shit one. Sorry for you. You fucking ruined my life. So now you decide.
Okay, it's Nikita.
Nikita who?
Murray.
So you slept with Nikita Murray?
Yeah.
And when did this happen?
In Kiev.
How did this happen?
We went out. We went to my hotel room, and we slept together.
And how many times?
Once.
Yes, so there was a video of Katlego Maboe being confronted by his then ex about cheating on her and potentially giving her an STD that resulted, or rather have the potential of making her barren. This video changed this man's life. When this hit the internet, everyone took a pause and said, who is Katlego? Who is he really? Do we know who this man is? So everyone came out with a statement. Organizations that are for women's or against women's abuse, and organizations that are always advocating for women's rights came out against Katlego. Expresso, the show that he was working for back then, came up with a statement and said, you know what, we support women and we are vehemently against any violence perpetuated against women. So as a result, we are going to stop putting this man on TV. Outsurance came out and said, you know what? All the billboards that you see all over N1 and all over this country are coming down, and we will not be airing a single ad with this man. This man's life changed dramatically. And those are the things that we know about. I mean, I'm sure also he had gigs that were booked from, were booked that got cancelled, or future gigs that were going to come out that were cancelled. But I think this is a classic case of obviously the outrage machine just going absolutely bananas. This man was cancelled in the matter of hours. All his life's work was destroyed by a 2-minute video. Just like that. Imagine having worked years and years, going to auditions, perfecting your craft, and to have everything taken away from you within an hour. And I don't know what's your perspective, guys, on cancel culture, as people call it. Is it cancel culture or is it accountability? Was the public holding Katlego accountable, or the public was doing what we know now as mob justice? I personally think it's a bit of both. I'm not on the cancel culture spectrum where everyone believes all cancel culture is bad. I'm also not on the spectrum who believes that anyone who does a discretion must be cancelled and his life must be totally ruined forever. I think social media has given us a platform to complain, also a platform to hold people accountable. And I think that's a very important element of social media. And I don't want us to give that element away totally. I don't want to disarm totally. I want that element of social media to always exist so that people can be held accountable where we can. But obviously there are exceptions to this rule. As with everything, everything has limits. But the problem with social media is that there is no curator, there is no mitigator, there are, so everything that's said is not filtered at all. That's why social media has the ability of going overboard. And I think this is exactly what happened with the Katlego case. Remember, when this happened, we didn't have the facts. We didn't know what exactly was happening. But what we did know, and what the video showed, that Katlego had participated in illicit relationships outside his marriage. Now, the question is, should someone be cancelled professionally for having certain indiscretions, or for having participated in certain indiscretions in his personal life? I think that's the main question that everyone was asking about. Or should we cancel this man because he cheated on his wife? But also the problem is that I think what was alleged, abuse was alleged, to say this man is abusive. And abuse, we always think of, this man was hitting his woman. But I think then what the abuse term was obviously loosely used to say, if you are cheating on your woman, you are abusing her. And I think that's where the allegations come from. And also there were court order, or rather a protection order was entered against him on the basis that he was abusive. So I think that's why social media was like, no, it's time to cancel this man, even without the facts. Because in this country, we obviously have femicide, and we also have all these issues where women get abused physically and women get killed. So whenever someone is accused of such a thing, even if we can say you have a personal life and a professional life, but if you are a spokesperson of a big insurance company and you have an entire show on national television and you do not exactly live according to what we would expect, we are going to cancel you. And I think that's what social media had decided back then. And this man's life got destroyed. He was cancelled everywhere, and I don't think anyone wanted anything to do with him. The cancellation got so far that this man was nominated for I believe a SAFTA. So SAFTA is South African Television Film Awards, and his nomination got taken away as a result of these allegations. So everything that this man had worked for, as I already indicated, was taken away as a result of these allegations. And this, I believe, a lot of people saw it as overkill. And at the point, honestly, I was agnostic. I didn't have an opinion as to whether it's overkill or not. But right now, having, hindsight 2020, having looked at all the facts, I believe this was a situation where cancel culture has gone absolutely bananas, and there was obviously overkill. There was an overcorrection. We later find out that the protection order was unjustified, meaning there was no abuse that could justify someone getting a court order. And this actually happened only this year, January, when Katlego won a case against his then wife, or a girlfriend. I don't know if they were married, a spouse. Katlego won a case, and the protection order case was dismissed in the Cape Town Magistrate Court, where they had said that they didn't find any evidence of abuse. And I think that's when this man's life maybe started changing. Katlego started a podcast. I believe it was called the Wellness Plug Podcast with two of his friends. It's only on Spotify. I've watched a couple of episodes, but it appeared that his man has been waking again, rebuilding his life from what appeared to be like a total cancellation. But right now, we got a video not so long ago saying that this man is coming back to Expresso. So on the 8th, I believe, of this month, Katlego will be on Expresso. And I'm going to play you actually a teaser of his appearance on Expresso. So...
Sorry, a lot has changed.
So that was a video of Katlego coming back to Expresso. So these are the details. So now I want to give out my opinion on the situation. My opinion on the situation is that just like with mob justice, you are not granted an opportunity to argue your case. It's a bunch of people who decides you are guilty, before they even listen to what you have to say, before they even consider the facts. And I think this is exactly what happened here. This man's life, his livelihood got taken away from him without him pleading his case. I mean, he tried to indicate that he's not abusive, but at that point, obviously, anyone who is even abusive will never say, I am abusive. People had already decided, and people were ready to literally stone him to death, which they did, or at least his career was stoned to death. So, social media has always had this has this element of cancellation or holding people accountable, as I would like to look at it. And I think it has worked in a number of instances. For example, I think we saw what social media could do when it comes to like reversing what people perceive as wrong actions or unjustifiable actions. Not so long ago, the Department of Arts and Culture indicated that they were going to build a 22 million rand flag, and everyone in the entertainment industry was like, what, this is unjustified, we don't need things like this. And in fact, the outrage was so much that the department decided to take off that element off of their annual performance plan. So those are obviously incidences of social media working, and social media actually working, or rather this whole notion of cancel culture resulting in positive results. But Katlego, I think, is the textbook case of social media absolutely getting things wrong and unjustifiably taking a man's livelihood away. And there's been incidences where I've been kind of like in the middle of it, this situation. In the middle, meaning like I've not really decided whether it was justified or not. We saw also this with the Jub situation, where he was on the MXG podcast and he made certain references about sleeping with, a certain celebrity, and later we found out that, or rather, that celebrity accused him of actually sexually assaulting her, and social media was justifiably outraged. And then Jub was forced to apologize to the women that he had talked about on the podcast, which he did, and also he was given an ultimatum to apologize or lose his job. So social media has those positive remedies that it can enact or it can implement, but the problem is that it doesn't have a limit. In it trying to sometimes redress some of these issues, it goes overboard, and that is always bad for whoever is on the other end facing the backlash. So, but I just wanted to indicate that Katlego Maboe looks to be coming back, looks to have resuscitated his career, and all the best to him. And tell me guys what you think of cancel culture. Is it a positive thing? And if you think it's a positive thing, how can we maybe moderate that? Because obviously right now there's no moderation or curation. There are no limits, and everyone else can say whatever they want, and you could actually get cancelled. If you think it's a totally bad thing, what is the alternative then? Are you saying we should have this tool that we can use to hold people accountable and not use it? I would like to hear from you guys. More videos are coming today. I think I'll be posting again on this channel the second episode of Real Crime South Africa. It's been your boy Tapelo, and please comment, like, subscribe. It's been an episode of the Regular People's Podcast. Thank you guys for listening. I'm out.